guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jazz. I hope you all are doing well. Today, as you can see, we have a beautiful full head of box braids, right? Wrong. I was just joking, you guys. This is a crochet. Now, I did do box braids on the edges at the top, but the rest of it are crochet boho braids, okay? So I did have a little situation that came up recently, okay? A little medical situation. So I wanted to make sure my hair was done before I had to go to the hospital and all of that. And yeah, this is the style I chose. I wanted something that would be easy, something that would look good for a while. And yeah, I did not want to go to the hospital looking busted. I was having surgery, and yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I looked good, and then, you know, just to kind of speed up my healing, looking good, feeling good, you know. So let's get into these braids, okay? So first things first, I'm using this hair. This is the boho crochet I was telling you all about. The hair, the little boho pieces is synthetic, but the fiber that they put in there is so good. It feels so soft and silky. It almost feels better than human hair, which is crazy. So I'm not sure what type of protein fibers they used, but this hair is so soft. Highly recommend, because I don't like typically synthetic boho, but I feel like, you know what, for about 2 or 3 weeks, it'll be fine. And this is the best hair that I found for that. So of course, link will be in the bio. There were about 8 packs. Each pack had 12 braids. Here I have some more synthetic hair. It's just some hair that I had laying around, and I'm going to use that with some easy braid hair to make my individual braids around. Okay, so that was me just matching it up, making sure everything looked good. Here is the famous braid pattern. So I have 2 braids going across my temples in the front and 4 braids at the top. Those will be what I'm using for my individual braids. I just kind of like mapped it out. Everything else will be crocheted in. If you do this style, you're more than welcome to go around all the edges. I typically would go around all the edges, but I just didn't have time for that. I wanted something quick. So, and also I just went ahead and separated my boho hair. I'm using that wavy hair for these individual braids on the edges. And like I said, easy braid for me has always been really decent hair. I didn't see the Easy Braid brand, the actual Easy Braid, not the Easy Braid knockoffs. I didn't see that brand listed anywhere in all this like hoopla about these crazy synthetic hair, chemical type cancer things or anything like that. But for me, Easy Braid has always been really good. So that's what I use. And they also updated their product as well. So, I mean, as far as like ready to get braiding hair from the beauty supply store, I still kind of recommend Easy Braid. But you know, as you know, the girls have moved on to plant-based hair. So plant-based hair is where it's at for optimal health, right? So anyway, as you can see, I am just doing these boho braids. I'm doing box braids. I'm not doing knotless because honestly, y'all, I didn't have time for that. I did this hairstyle, I think a day or 2 before I had to go to the hospital that morning. And so I was tired. It was like, I started this at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And I just didn't feel like messing around with knotless braids. Okay, I just wanted braids, and it still turned out really good. So here, as you can see, I'm braiding it. I was measuring it up with a braid, one of those boho braids from the crochet hair. I just wanted to make sure that everything was lining up as far as size-wise, length-wise, you know. And once I was happy with that first braid, I just kind of used that first braid that I did as a measuring tool. I can't talk today. A measuring tool for all the other braids that I put in my hair. So here I am adding in that hair. The braids, they do look kind of small. They're smaller than the crochet, but that's because I was adding in hair, and I don't want the braids to be too chunky on the edges, but I wanted it to be kind of full. So yeah, it doesn't have to be exact, you guys. It can be as close as you can get it, okay? And it'll still look really good. And I got a lot of compliments on my hair too. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue braiding, and then I'll see y'all in just a bit. Okay, guys, so I am working on this last braid, okay? I'm working on this last braid. Yeah, by this time I was so tired, but I was determined to finish, okay? I was determined. This hairstyle took me, I think, 4.5 hours from start to finish. And that was all these little boho braids. So this little patch of boho braids that I have at the top and on the sides, basically that took me the most amount of time. That took about 3.5 hours, y'all. You know, I'm not talking about the braid down or putting the crochet pieces in. Those, it just took forever. So anyway, what I'm doing here is I just basically braided the ends. I left out the curly pieces and I twisted the curly pieces, but I braided the ends of the hair because I'm going to dip those braided ends because I want like a wavy look. And here I am adding in the crochet boho braids. And so as you can see my braid pattern, I have like little cornrows that lead to larger cornrows. That was my logic behind that was basically I just wanted to be more full around the edges. And honey, let me tell you something. Okay, if you do this hairstyle, don't braid it tight because for some of those braids, I accidentally braided it too tight. No, it didn't feel tight at first, but when I'm trying to put crochet box braids into these braids, honey, it was so painful. I was like, why did I do that? So don't do that. But yeah, be very careful about your placement of like crochet braids because they can hurt sometimes. I think nobody talks about that, but yeah, they can hurt. So as you can see, I'm just trying to put like one braid on each of these little cornrows that I have, just going all the way around. After I did that, I just kind of filled in where necessary. But I'm gonna tell you something. I put 7 packs. I use 7 packs of the boho hair. So 7 times 12, you know, do the math. Doesn't seem like a lot of braids, but honey, box braids that are crochet braids can tend to be really heavy too. So just keep that in mind. I definitely felt the weight as I was continuing, and I just chose, because I definitely could have added in that 8th pack, but I chose not to, only because I didn't want it to be too heavy and I wanted to be comfortable at the hospital, which the hospital, honey, that's a whole other series I'm going to have to do. Oh my God. Like, we as women go through so much. Okay. And I'm going to make a whole series about that. Maybe about 2, 3, 4 videos. Just talking about that because my channel is focused on hair, beauty, and health. Okay. And this is one of those things that as women, we need to we can talk about here. Okay. So stay tuned for that. I'm still healing up. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So as you can see, that's how it's looking. And I just kind of went in and, like I said, finished what I could. I have my hot water from my beautiful new kettle. The other kettle, I was on my way to a client's house to do her hair. That kettle fell on the floor and broke. I was so mad. We made it work, but yeah, I had to buy a new one. Anyway, this kettle is linked below because I think it's better. So I only dipped the braided ends. Remember, the boho pieces are curly, so I twisted those. And the straight pieces from the easy braid hair, I just braided those ends, and the braided ends are what I dipped. Okay. So as you can see, I am just unbraiding those braided ends. And you can see in just a second, it's going to be so pretty, so wavy. I wish I had time and energy to do like the full edges so that I could pull up in a ponytail or maybe even do like the vixen look. I think that would be so cute. I just didn't have time. Okay, so maybe that's something we'll dive into in another video. So I would definitely revisit. But yeah, I think this hairstyle turned out so pretty, you guys. I was so proud of myself. You can't tell because it was like late and I was sleepy, but I was proud of myself for accomplishing this in about 4.5 hours. Okay, boho braids in 4.5 hours. Yes, it can be done. Okay, and this is the end result. Let me know, you guys, would you try this hairstyle? Would you get your braider to try this hairstyle on you? Not everybody wants to sit all day, but we want the look. And yeah, let me know if you guys would try this. Please comment below if you have tried something like this or if you have any other ideas for videos. I have a ton of videos that I have to make. I have so many wigs. And I have so many other things that I need to be doing, but yeah, just I'm so happy with all of my new subscribers. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching my videos. Yeah, I really appreciate the love here. And yeah, as you can see, I could style this up a couple ways. I could put up in a ponytail. I could put in a bun. But yeah, I'm so happy with this hairstyle. So cute, pretty, beautiful. Anyway, you guys, thank you all for watching. I will see you on my next video. Bye.